All right. I won't take up too much of your time, but I'm really happy to be able to talk to you guys before you get here and play Saratoga Springs, which is going to be a lot of fun. I don't know if you ever played at that venue before.
I'm not sure if it's the same venue, but we played Saratoga a couple of years ago, and there were thunderstorms. We had to cut the set short because of lightning strikes. So I think we only dropped one song, but
Okay,
that's what
well,
I
that's good.
remember. Yeah, but it was a great show. So we're looking forward to coming back and playing it again, obviously.
I think that's going to be fantastic. You got a really rabid crowd here in upstate New York that's ready, to get, they're ready to do metal with you guys, man. And you got an awesome show. I have to ask you, okay, Priest is on tour right now with Alice Cooper. And I have to ask you, just as a fan, do you sneak out to watch Alice's set at all? Because it's phenomenal.
Absolutely. Everyone's big fans of Alice and Corrosion of Conformity as well. So whenever we can, I'm always been a massive Alice fan. I mean, from a guitar point of view, there's some great songs from, for decades. He's always seemed to adapt to the decade, Alice. So we're great friends with Alice and the guys and girls in the band, and we love the songs. So whenever we can, we get out there and watch some of the set. We put like a cap or a hoodie on and go out in the audience. So it's a thrill. We're fans of Alice as well as the fans in the audience. So it's a great vibe, great package, we think.
Yeah, oh, it's an absolutely it's a phenomenal package. You know what I mean? I mean, Priest, the godfathers of British heavy metal. I mean, come on, it's awesome. So, I mean, and then you've got the father of the shock rock type genre with Alice Cooper, it's just amazing. It's an amazing show. I can't wait to be there on Saturday to see it. But I got to ask you, you've been with Priest since 2011 at this point and everything. How do you balance bringing your style as Richie Faulkner with melding it together with a style that's been around, since the late 60s?
It's a very good question. I mean, I think you've got to do it naturally. You've got to do what feels right, really. So there's no kind of premeditated way of doing that. I was brought up on that kind of music anyway. I was brought up on kind of Hendrix and Deep Purple and Black Sabbath and stuff like they were as well. They were fans of that music, and then obviously brought up on bands like Priest, Maiden, Metallica, that sort of stuff. So it's part of my musical DNA as a guitar player. And so you just have to, when you're writing songs or when you're playing some of the legacy songs, some of those legendary songs, you've got to respect what went before you, obviously. It's a massive legacy. But I think you've also got to inject a little bit of your own character in there as well. I think they always did that. They did their thing. They were unique and did things their way. So I think you have to honor that tradition, I think, as a guitar player, and inject a bit of your own personality in there as well. So it's a careful balance, really, but you just got to do what comes from the heart more than anything.
We're talking with Richie Faulkner from Judas Priest. They're going to be up at SPAC on Saturday, September 27th, along with Alice Cooper and Corrosion and Conformity. Do you have, as somebody who grew up as a Priest fan, and now you get to play with one of the biggest metal bands of all time? Has that feeling of like I'm playing on stage with Judas Priest, has that ever gone away, or is it still like amazing every single time?
It's still amazing. I mean, the more time goes by, the more you're in the band and the family of the band and crew, you kind of get into the mindset of how can we do this? How can we make this better? How can we, you focus on the show. But every now and then there is that moment still that comes back, normally on stage and you look out in the audience and you see all these faces and they're there to see this legendary heavy metal band. It does kind of hit you. Because that's the reality. They've been over 50 years now, they've been making heavy metal, and I'm honored to be a part of that. But from day to day, we kind of get our heads down and, just try and do the best we can, give the fans back what we can. And they've given the band that life of over 50 years. So how can we give them back everything from our side, So that's what it becomes, really.
Speaking of the fans, is there one song that you get to play like every single time that you're just like you like can't wait? Like this is like your song, you want to go out there and you want to kill it and it just gives you an energy every single time.
Well, fortunately, from tour to tour, we tend to change the set list, So we've been fortunate in that regard. The 50th anniversary tour was different from the Invincible Shield tour. That one was different from this tour. So we get to play a lot of the band's material. And on this one, I'm really enjoying things like Touch of Evil,
Oh,
for its atmosphere and that kind of the vibe that you get from that song. We're celebrating some of Painkiller. It's the 35th anniversary of Painkiller this year. So we're
yeah,
we're touching on some of that record, and obviously Touch of Evil being on that record.
yeah.
That one, All Guns Blazing, is a great show opener. So yeah, but definitely Touch of Evil for the atmosphere that brings up in that part of the set.
I agree with you fully on that. I love that song. I love that album. I'm excited to see it celebrated. And the goosebumps that I get when Halford still performs Painkiller is amazing to me. And it sounds so good. So I mean, for me, my personal favorite song, if you can like ask them to do this, maybe do some Delivering the Goods from '78. I mean, that might be my favorite Priest song. So that would be
That's a great
phenomenal
one.
to see. If you take
That's a great
requests, if
one.
you take requests.
I'll suggest it. That's a great song. We did it a couple of years ago. It's a real rocker of a song.
Yeah,
So yeah, I'll put it forward. I'll mention it in the catering tomorrow when we're all having a bit of dinner. I'll see what the
nice.
guys say for you.
Nice. So, speaking of being on stage and everything, obviously, like Priest shows bring a colossal amount of energy and everything to that. Like, what are some of like the things that you've got to do to get ready for that?
Well, as I just mentioned, we get to the venue. We have a VIP meet and greet, me and Scott. So we meet some of the fans.
Sure.
Um, so we hear some of their stories. We get to meet them, which is fantastic. We get something to eat, and then we put on the leathers and get up there and do the job. Really, that's what we do. We're there. We're focused. We have a great time doing it. We love. I mean, obviously we're all in a band, but we love the band that we're in. I think I speak for everyone in the band when I say that. We love the music we play, and we love playing in front of an audience and sometimes new audience members. We see kids down there, young kids with their parents, and it's an incredible thrill, really. So
Yeah.
it's pretty straightforward, really. We suit up, as I said, and we get out there and deliver the goods, as you said earlier on.
Yeah. Obviously, like, we talked a little bit about some of the bands that you liked when you were growing up and listening to, like Black Sabbath and stuff. You've got your, influences like Zakk Wylde and Jimi Hendrix and everything like that. Is there anybody like that you like to listen to or anything to kind of get you ready and get you in the mindset to go out there or anything? Is there anything that, pump yourself up like an athlete?
Yeah, we always put on a few things. There's a playlist in the dressing room before we go on, and it's usually Pantera, Black Sabbath with Dio and Ozzy,
Oh, okay.
um, Queen sometimes. So that's and some AC/DC, some Metallica, usually either Ride the Lightning or Master of Puppets.
Okay.
So yeah, that's usually the five or six bands we usually put on to sort of pump ourselves up when we're putting the leather suits on, and getting ourselves psyched up for the task in hand. So yeah, that's part of the ritual, man.
Did you get to pick out your own leathers, by the way, for that? Did you get to do that, or did they have it laying out and they're like, Richie, these are for you?
No, we all have our own input into, the style aspect of the leathers, what we want to, convey with that side of things, and then obviously our tailor, well, I guess you'd call it a tailor. Ray Brown has been with the band since the early '80s, so
Yeah.
we put our ideas to him. And then he comes up with a way of putting those ideas into, a clothing format. So he's been fantastic. But yeah, we all have a say in what we wear, really. As long as it's got to be black leather and studs. It can't be, it can't deviate from the blueprint. But why would you want to? You know what I mean?
You can't. No, it's out there and you got to do that. That is the uniform, man. That's
Exactly.
the metal uniform as laid out by Judas Priest.
Exactly.
Um
Yeah.
a bit of a personal thing, obviously, you had the health scare in 2021, which kind of it's a big thing that you had to go through. Do you think about that often? And what do you kind of do uh, to kind of prep yourself and stuff like that? Because that was a pretty serious issue for you.
It was. Yeah. I mean, fortunately, I don't have to do anything too heavy. I mean, luckily, I just have to remember to take my meds, which I've forgotten this morning. Thanks for reminding me.
You're welcome.
That's sometimes the hardest thing. I've had a bit of collateral damage on my right side with stuff connected to what happened, so I have to work at that. We have a physio on the road, and I work with him three times a day. Once in the morning after these interviews, I'm going to work with him on coordination before the show, and then after the show as well. We do that 3 times a day.
Oh,
So that sort of stuff I have to work on. But as far as the heart and everything's concerned, it's meds. I can't eat too many leafy greens, which I'm not too bothered about. But apart
sounds
from that,
fine.
man, I got lucky. Really, there's a lot of people around the world with a lot more serious conditions than I have. So I consider myself lucky to be here talking to you.
So, but everything is good. You're healthy. Everything is fine. You're good to go.
As far as I'm aware, but you never know what's around the corner. But you got to live
Yeah.
each day to the fullest. You know what I mean?
That's absolutely true. You only get one life, right? You're living it, man. You are living it. I mean, you're out there, you're playing with Priest, you're killing it. Is there like a dream jam though? Like, is there somebody that you would love to play with?
I'd love to play with Alice. I played a couple of shows when I was younger, in an Alice Cooper tribute band, and
Oh,
it's as I said before, it's such a vast spectrum of musical styles, but still classic Alice. From the '60s and '70s right up to present day, through the '80s and '90s. It's such a great sort of tapestry of styles and songs. I'd love to play with Alice one day. You never know.
hey, listen, the opportunity is right there at your fingertips at this point. You just got to make a call, I think, and you could probably come out there and join them.
His band is so good, though. That's another thing with
Yeah.
Alice. He's always had such a great band behind him, and this is no exception. You've got Ryan Roxie, Tommy Henriksen, Nida Strauss on guitar. I mean, how can you beat that? I mean, world class.
It's phenomenal. I've seen Alice a lot. I've seen Priest quite a few times. You guys blow me away every single time. To have you guys on the same bill, I'm so looking forward to seeing you guys up at Saratoga at SPAC to perform on Saturday. It's going to be something, man. And if you're hanging around upstate and you're going to be here for a while, you need to pull the bus over and you need to make sure you go to Stewart's. It's a gas station that has the best ice cream in the world, and you need to get it. I'm gonna recommend it.
Well, I'll check it out, man. I can't eat too much because I won't fit into me leathers.
But all right, so there you go. Just moderation. Moderation is key.
Absolutely. As I will check it out, man. Thanks very much for that.
Hey, Richie, thank you for joining me, man.
Thank you, brother. Take care. See you Saturday.